Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Thurnis, and welcome to another Forged Alliance Forever replay review. Today, I'm joined by my
Oh, cut out at the end, but I'm the
God damn
co-host,
it.
Willow. Don't worry about it. We'll fucking go with it because you didn't fuck it up. Your mic fucked it up. And yes, that was just to throw all of you all for a loop. Welcome to the channel. Welcome there. We're gonna be doing a replay review of the beautiful Sergeant Syphilis, and his ally is Star SM. He's up against Leroy Jenkins and Admiral Aids, which is weird because he's in the TMM and he's playing against Admiral Aids, like his best friend. But whatever. It's the 2v2 TMM, so get strapped in. It's gonna be a fun one. And of course, like if you like it, dislike if you don't. Join the Patreon or channel membership to get your own replay review. F you, pay me. So, what do you think of this opener? Lots of power.
Lots of power. That's a good thing on this because there's lots and lots of mass where you can upgrade your mexes. I just don't like how he built the power. It's a little explosive, to say the least.
Gotta live life on the edge sometimes. After all, he's probably dying from like terminal syphilis. Been him for a couple years it seems, and he still has syphilis.
Yeah, he's probably not doing too hot. He hasn't managed to stall at all on either thing yet, so that's pretty good.
Should probably have the UI turned on, so look at that.
Oh yeah, that might help.
I'll take your word for it that he didn't stall. Did he overflow at all?
Nope, no overflow.
So you're telling me he didn't even overflow 5 mass at the beginning of the game like everybody does?
Well, other than that, no. He's managed
the person
to pick
who
up
figures out how to not do that. It's 12 or 2,500.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible.
It's not.
So he's going for some naval yards in the back.
And in the front. He's going for both.
Oh, you're right, and the front. That's good.
Might be a bit expensive though, and considering he's Cybran, you don't even necessarily get T2 quickly. You can just walk to the other side. Sure,
you can.
Sure, you don't have frigates, but you can let somebody else rush T2.
Yeah, it's almost unnecessary to build navy in either pond until you figure out what your opponent is doing in the ponds.
Yeah, but you also, of course, have the long straightaways that I generally like to just...
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
I think
that's usually what you want to do.
I think sending the comm...
That looks like that's what he's set up for, too.
Yeah, I think sending the comm... also a good idea. It's really slow to get there, but if your opponent sends his comm and you don't, then
you lose the
generally lose.
It looks like he's about to hit his first stalls. Yep, he stalled mass, but now he's going to stall power because he's building this transport. If he set up this power grid around his air factory, he wouldn't be having this stall. So rather than building a
I don't think it's an egregious stall. Like, it's like between 30 and 2 power a second. That's not a bad thing.
No. It's not, but it was avoidable just by not having to clump and just setting it up as an air grid first.
You might want to check if you have anything running that taking a lot of bandwidth, because you're whenever you, it seems like it's randomly cutting you out and making it on Discord. And that's unfortunate, but we'll work through.
Well, I had 3 things open that I was unaware of, so.
Oh, well, that might help.
that could possibly fix it. I had 2 tabs of YouTube. That was definitely one of them.
Gotcha.
So he's scouted that his opponent has beat him to the drop.
And he brought less engineering. Do not drop right on top of the enemy. Just leave. Yep, you just...
He's building... He's decided to move the drop. He's noticed a problem. He's sending a bomber out. That's not far enough away, but I guess that's
It is far enough away. It's out of vision, because the only reason he had vision was the transport.
Mm, that's true.
So, yeah, and that PD isn't gonna. So the bomber, as long as it gets a really good drop here, kills off all 4 of
Yep.
them. And then there's 1 engineer
So,
left and a PD, which with 1 Medusa. That's a really good reaction out of Sergeant, in my opinion.
Yes, that is definitely the good thing to do. Usually when you do a drop, you either want to escort it with inties, or if you're expecting enemy drop, a bomber.
Yeah, but I think that his opponent. This is more on his opponent for making such. It was a mistake, in my opinion, to go for his opponent's side. It's going to be
Yes,
so
that
much
you
harder.
never do that. You always drop what's closest to you.
Yeah, because like, what's the upside here? You get 3 extra mexes, but you're also risking just losing your drop and then losing your 3 extra mexes. Like,
Yep.
the
because
risk versus
there's an example
reward
of
is
that
6
going on
mass.
right now.
Yeah, the risk versus reward is 6 mass. Not worth losing all of your.
It is not. Because we're being shown that example on the right side right now. He's done the exact same thing.
I wonder what the
He's just
logic
gonna lose all those.
I really do.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think this was more of a drop for reclaim.
It might have been.
Because he
Then
did,
again,
he
we're
did,
not looking
he had 6 engineers on that transport and 2 dropped in the normal spot. The other, Syphilis's opponent had 6 engineers and they dropped them all at one spot, or 5 engineers. The air fight is going pretty well. Did manage to get off a kill on that bomber, and now he's going to get off a kill on the few of the engineers. Stops moving for a bit, which means he might go down to parity. He's producing a lot of interceptors, and he's producing navy in both pawns. Of course, more on the outside than the inside, but he has his ally to side with him.
Yeah, he's not really paying too much attention to his mantis up north. He could have seen that there were 3 engineers he could have killed.
He's,
Yeah, in fact, he was actually shooting at him. And just stopped.
I still think it's going to be really good because, as you're speaking about, like, his opponent was trying to secure 3 extra mass points. Well, now Syphilis is by default.
Yeah.
What's
now
your-
he just has
what's your-
control over this.
What's your thought? This is just a theory crafting thing. Criticizing he's doing or giving praise, but opinion of torpedo on. I think it could be really good to have torpedo in the middle pond, and then just focus all your navy on the outside.
You
Like,
see,
as an early
in
game
a
strategy.
2v2 like this, I don't think it's a good idea. Because it is a 20 by 20, and there's absolutely no land you can get back on if torpedo bombers threaten him. In general, I just don't like going for torpedo comms unless it's a 10 by 10, or if it's a 20 by 20 with small pockets of water that you need to fight over.
All right.
I'm not saying it's a terrible idea to go for it, because a torpedo stealth comm can actually, I think, fight now because of that extra 2,000 health. I think it's 5 destroyers it can fight, rather than 3.5.
It can fight more if it keeps at max range, because the destroyers don't have the vision to see.
Vision.
Technically fight anything infinitely. The issue is it's slower, so.
Yep. So we might see the issue of there's an ACU on the left and Syphilis didn't bring his over.
I think that might be counterbalanced, but just the fact that I think he's gonna have so much more land production. Like right now, even now, he has enough tank force back in the. The opponent, of course, is gonna get land production, but the question is gonna overcome the fact that he's down multiple factories. Or factories.
Yes. While we do see that, the problem is Syphilis also has 0 intel over any of his opponent's base. Yes, he is. I think that might have been because of some big reclaim pockets.
If it is, then still getting close.
So usually, when you hit about 500 mass in your bank, and you'd say, alright, I'm not going to throw this into units, I'm just going to let it sit there, you don't do that. You upgrade a mech.
Yeah, he also
does have
down to the
going on the front.
I think I'm gonna just point it out as what I believe. Like, he's getting T2 Navy in the center instead of on the outside, while his ally already has T2 Navy in the center. It's queued up on his leftmost factory. About to start.
Well, I almost don't think it matters because he's denied the exterior navy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it actually almost does not matter at all. He has been in an unacceptable power stall. What he's doing is he's upgrading T3 air without a T2P gen. It's about to be solved, but in general, you just can't do that.
He also had he lost a lot of his Mantis and army doing it, but he forced back the comic Leroy Jenkins.
That he did. So he's gained the territory, he's gained the reclaim field. That's fine.
Fight over there on the west side, and I guess maybe with T2 in the middle will be useful. He needs to stop producing naval units. Bottom area, the outside area, because he's in one navy already. You can reproduce units if you can't maintain a naval blockade, but you're already far enough ahead that you.
Yeah.
He also just saw a gunship appear to the northwest. He dealt with it, and that's just gonna probably prompt once he hits T3, pulled out of that power cell. Once he hits, focus on getting some ASF and go probably strat bomber, what I would call like maybe 2 ASF.
Unfortunately, a strat bomber isn't a good idea when there's A on T2 air on the field. He has scouted 3 T2 A on air factories, all of which were producing Swiftwinds. A Swiftwind keeps up in speed for a strat bomber, so unless you have air control over those Swiftwinds, you don't build a strat bomber because it'll just get shot down.
Alright.
He was doing a really good job picking up reclaim, keeping him out of mass stalls. That seems to have kind of stopped, even though there's still plenty under his control. I'd say about...
Seems like a lot of NGs are spending mass over here on the west and trying to... Also, we have kind of idle one. Idle NGs, they're both good and bad, because whenever you do need to build power, it's there at least. It's good that you're building them, bad that they're idle.
Yeah. T3 air finished up by Syphilis. He's still building T2P gens. Air factory is idle. He needs to get some T3 NGs out, get up a T3P gen.
I think he's... No? I think he's economy.
No, I wouldn't really say that.
He's
also going very light on mech upgrades.
Torpedo bombers just came onto the... To definitely get air control, but it's almost assured that he's got T. Unless they... Well, they haven't scouted Admiral Aid. I don't think Admiral Aid is going to have T now.
Yeah. Torpedo bombers out from both enemy players. If he had torpedo comm, now would have been the time to leave. Unless, of course, bulwarks.
I do
and
like
shields.
seeing these T1 bombers he still has laying around. I think it's always good to have around just their harassment or for just killing off things that are annoying. T1 bombers are exceptional.
He has them queued to go bomb a T2P gen. Unfortunately, 4 doesn't kill a T2P gen, especially when you know your opponent has Swiftwinds.
Well, maybe his opponent had a stroke, and also he's probably just getting rid of him. I don't know.
Maybe, but there are T1 mexes and T1 PDs that could be bombed rather than that.
Maybe the bombers get like 3 passes. That might be enough.
It's
Oh,
possible.
they're not scorchers.
Unlikely.
You can get build power kills. Does
That
kill
is also
something.
valuable.
Oh yeah, if it gets 1 more pass, that's a dead back or T2 Pigeon, and the Swifties haven't responded in time. So yeah, we're both
Yeah,
dumb.
actually, the Swiftwinds are. Huh. The Swiftwinds are escorting a single
He
fighter.
could maybe get 3
Don't you?
Pigeon kills if he goes for the line of 3. And there's this.
Yep.
But that's a ton of build power that just died.
And a Pigeon from 4 bombers.
This is just
All in all,
this is
those
just a
eight
lesson to
kills.
everybody. That was a very low APM move for a sergeant. It was literally 3 clicks. Select your bombers, zoom out, click, click, and he managed to make it extremely valuable for him. And his opponent needed more APM to solve the issue. He needed to 1, identify that it was coming, 2, select his Swiftins, 3, get him there in time, and like it is just there's a lot more reactions that Leroy had to do. So that's just a lesson in like there's very small things that you find annoying that people do. The reason you find it annoying is because it takes them almost no effort to do it, and it will really just be annoying. Things like doing drops or doing that kind of T1 bomber harass that we just saw, it can really gain a lot of value in a lot of games. Tax attention spans, because everybody has a short one nowadays.
Syphilis is stalling 370 something mass.
It's only 190 right now for me. Maybe that's because he's climbing.
I am ever so slightly behind you.
He's you can.
It was a massive
Yeah,
Tech 3
max
upgrade that wasn't capped. So, Syphilis, you have so many mexes that you can upgrade to T2. Or cap first, for that matter. You did not need to upgrade that mex to T3.
I think he
It's
was.
less efficient.
I think he might have been running into the issue of didn't know what to spend his money.
That's possible, except
He also has a
didn't
bunch
really
of pause
have that much
T2
in
max
vain.
upgrades right here.
yes, he's got his land base, which is still firmly under his control. Even with that shield com's not going to break through
Very
that alone.
forward TML, which can't hit. They can hit 1 T2 max. Anything of value I see here? Maybe he was going for shots on the comm, but the comm has some back upgrade. I guess he has personal shield generator, because other than that, I don't see why he would have Rask whenever he's far behind.
No, he does have shield.
And,
He's
looks as though he might be able to get a kill here, especially if he brings in any kind of higher tech air. Like I don't see how he has enough ASF now. I think. Oh no, he doesn't. I was about to say
No,
he has.
he's only
I
got a
thought those
couple.
were all ASF and he could take out these.
unfortunately not. He's realized he needs to start building PDs with these engineers just a little bit too late.
He also
He's
needs to start
unfortunately-
producing Navy in the outside again.
I don't think so. I think all that was just destroyed by a
Oh wait, no, it's all
Middle
around
bombers?
back on his side. It's like he selected all Navy, which admittedly I do a lot, but I wouldn't do on this map. Select all Navy is a really useful tool if you are like me and you're not good at drag box selecting the things you actually want. You just got bad mouse movement, but on maps like this where you have 2 very separated pawns, you have to micro them in. Can't do so. Because his Navy on the outside is trying to get to the inside, and that just means no longer denying the access on right. And in the middle in particular, the naval fights are going
small
all right.
micro mistake in the middle. Unfortunately, he's not under shield boats.
And his
even though
destroyer
there was
was
one.
in front of his
So he
frigates.
just lost a destroyer. Yeah.
So, for everybody who's watching, the way you micro Navy, UEF is different. UEF is more like herp-a-derp, just make sure it's under a shield. But you can even do it with UEF, and it makes you. But generally what you can do is you can control click to select all your destroyers, and you can also extend that by control clicking on a cruiser if you want to. You pull anything higher tech back, and you send forward the frigates and T1 units. Just you throw them in there whenever you're committing to a naval fight. When you're running away, everything runs. But if you're committing to a naval fight, you want the destroyers in the back and the frigates in the front, because the frigates are there to soak damage. Also, both him and his ally STAL-SM are making the mistake of building submarines because their opponent has a lot of frigates. It'd be better for both of them to just build a bunch of frigates.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
the reason
subs
they're
are
losing-
only good. Yeah, subs are only good if your opponent has subs. Otherwise, you don't build subs.
Well, the exception
Frigates
being
are-
stuff like Barracudas and Vespers do have their place.
Yeah. And, yeah, the sub hunters have their place. But T1 subs are... You stop building T1 subs once you get T2 Navy.
Or the only time you restart is if they build an Atlantis, a Tempest, or Yas House. Those T1 subs are.
Yes. Yep, they also just kind of chump damage for destroyers first.
Strat Bomber out, and now it's targeted onto Leroy Jenkins' comm. He has enough ASF that I think he can stop Swifties if he feels like it, so I think this is just a good call. He's going to use air to take out one of his opponents. He also has some T2 land and other land forces trying to show up to help. His opponent isn't building T1 AA, so I think as long as this Strat Bomber stays alive, Jenkins dies. Unless he gets into the water.
I believe he's going to get into the water very safely. One Strat Bomber and two T1 Bombers does not put a shield comm in that much danger.
Yeah, but
when there's
Syphilis
this
is
little
very
land.
obviously paying attention to this, and he's about to get some torpedo bombers. Yeah, you can already see him.
Yep, he's got torpedo bombers
He
on
has
the way.
decided that Leroy Jenkins is living up to his name and dying in raid.
Yep. It looks like he's power stalling.
Which is making it
And
hard
mass
to find
stalling.
the comm.
Yep.
Also, power
It
and
looks
mass
like he's
stalling?
throwing
What an
back-
overachiever.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. He just needs to target them onto the comm.
He's decided to move the Strat Bombers from
He's gonna get the power.
the... Yep, he's knocked out three
Oh,
T2
He needs to get the
T2s.
T3 EP.
He's decided to go and hit Gray's power grid,
Oh!
knocking out another... Oh, just one. If he replaced that just a little bit better, he could have knocked out the two that he saw. I know he didn't see the third one, but if he gave it a ground fire command, that could have taken out all of them.
Unfortunately, though, there's still a T3 P-Gen, and as long as Leroy pauses his T2 air factories, he can both support himself and make up for Admiral in one T2. Give them time to recover.
Leroy
And-
Jenkins building a massive amount of T1 AA.
Well, he's also getting very close to dying as a new Strat Bomber's on top of him, and there's torpedo bombers to stop him. There's still
Yep.
enough ASF to stop, Syphilis really needs to keep his ASF near that. And these torpedo
Yeah,
bombers...
he also
need
needs to take out this advancing land force that's entirely fervors and AAs, because he is losing Strat Bombers to T1 mobile AAs. It seems like he's also pretty much stopped ecoing.
Yeah.
He's got lots of uncapped mexes, lots of unupgraded mexes. He has managed to get himself another T3 mex, but he does need to continue to eco. Generally for this map, he'd probably be around 150, 160 eco at this time of the game, especially with how much map control he's had.
He's still... I know we're not judging based off what's going on, based off still at the top of the first. That is a bright side to look at it from.
it is something to look at.
But he's about
So he
to
does
lose
have-
that because he's a bunch of fervors are about to kill him. You can't really use Navy on this map to deal with it because the cliffs are just high enough. They're designed to stop the Navy from interfering with positive.
He's actually just put them in the wrong spot. Because there are plenty of low points where T2 Navy can easily shell over.
Yeah, I was
He's
talking
just-
about the T1
you
Navy,
gotta-
the frigates thing. Right?
Oh, yes, the frigates don't do anything. You can't hit anything of those unless they're right on the edge.
I wonder what his comm's doing. His comm is moving in towards the middle. I think bringing the comm back onto land would help here. Something
It looks like he's decided Leroy Jenkins really gets to die now.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
his shield is clicked back on, so never mind.
it's full shares. Don't know how well that works. I mean, the shield's already off. I think he's dead. I don't think he can get to the water.
I believe the shield clicks back on.
No, it didn't. Or at least if it did, he's having power struggles because it keeps turning off and taking health things.
Yeah, I thought I saw it click back on for a second.
It definitely did, and it just clicked back on again. But I saw a strap bomber come in
So-
between that and do a health thing.
Yes, so that is power problems then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yep, there he goes.
Okay, you killed off Leroy, but now his base goes to AIDS. Who isn't a bad player by it. It's about at the same level as Partnership. The issue that he's running into now is he's starting to lose ASF and his base to fervors. He does get up a couple of Cerberus, which completely stops fervors. So
He's also sitting cruisers in fervor fire, so that's a little micro thing that you need to look out for. What they should also realize is they have absolute naval dominance.
he's sending his comm over here. I guess he drag selected and managed to get his comm because his comm coming over to this bay where all of these warriors are dying.
He has a
Fervors.
torpedo upgrade. That is it.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, torpedo does not help you kill fervors.
They did just notice Admiral AIDS and there was a ping on it, so maybe bring all the air over and that doesn't let Syphilis do. No real harm in that. They've won the middle navy, so I think that bringing the Thalems over and walking them onto land is probably the best use of this.
Yes. Barracudas need to completely stop production. They are 100% useless at this point.
He lost his naval factories somehow. Either that or you can blockade them on the side.
I believe those were probably torpedo bombers, or he reclaims them because there are no wrecks.
The
does
Sam going
not
up
have
there is one.
significant radar coverage. And unfortunately, because of how bad the Cerberus is, these fervors have managed to find themselves a spot they cannot get shot from.
Wow.
A couple T1
The
bombers.
one thing that the Cerberus is actually kind of good at, which is dealing with T1 forces better than the other T2 PD, and it can't even do
can't
that
even do
right.
it.
How bad the
Nope.
Cerberus is. Like, it's dealing with everything but those two fervors, but you only need two fervors to kill 6 PD.
Yep. It's already managed to knock out 2, so. And now
Admiral
he's.
Aid's main base is about to be collapsing.
Yes, it doesn't look like they have a very good response to.
He
the
did manage to
torpedoes.
get a Sam over here. I think that you need to stop trying to snipe him with air and just focus on killing off the base. It's a higher percentage winning play to kill off the base than it is to try and snipe the comm.
Yep.
And you've won Navy on both fronts, so just go do it.
Also, 77 mass income isn't enough to comfortably build a spider. That's going to take you forever.
Maybe with Reclaim, but we've already covered how Reclaim's kind of been left by the wayside.
Yeah, there's.
He is reclaiming
Well,
T2 power generators, which is a Actually, probably a good way to get a lot of mass for that.
That is good. He's just received a massive mass dump.
Where do you send the spider? Do you send it through the water up the middle to the base, or do you send it towards the com?
Water up the middle towards the base. They have nothing there. It's safe. They're able to tell that he has a T3 commander because there's no engineers up there. His ACU is the thing building SAMs, and he's got a shield. At this point, that Monkey Lord is scouted.
Yeah.
That commander probably won't be there.
It seems as though the Monkey Lord is going to take the land route towards you on it. Which also valid. I don't mind that too much. I mean, if you really want to
that's what he wants to do to clean up the land spam.
And now we have the Monkey Lord. I think thinking about the Monkey Lord is a good idea. I don't think he had the economy for it, but you did get a mass dump, and this is a team game after all. The teamwork makes the dream work.
His teammate has built a nuke sub. I question the decision. I also do not know why his his teammate has built a Neptune.
Well, you know.
You just don't do that when you have naval.
You need the Lord of the Seas on your side to win.
So actually, a bunch of torpedo bombers have just flown over where his commander is, and there is nothing there other than the commander. The Monkey Lord should be rerouted. Now, I don't know if either of them actually saw that.
I didn't see. Apparently they're pinging down here about OSM.
I don't know what they could possibly be pinging about. I'm curious. They're pinging one ASF.
Trap bomber gonna die to 2 Swifties. Oh, never mind. The Swifties pull off right whenever they get it down to sub 500 HP. And then the Strap Bomber's going to go in for its next round of punishment and die. Kills one T1 engineer, and that's the trade he's made.
Strap Bomber has killed 158 mass. That does not pay for itself. Not even
surprisingly,
close,
he's flying around Swifties and ASF. Ooh. Okay. I think this Strap Bomber's probably not being actively microed to be fair, though.
No, probably not.
Just one of those Strap Bombers you're like, go to that flank and do whatever you can. I'm proud of you.
Just help me out.
The Monkey Lord is surprisingly getting a lot of air kills. Just killed an ASF. Almost killed some Swifties.
Yes. Mex is not being rebuilt. Reclaim in the naval, in the pond, not being picked up.
Both
stalling
Syphilis
over
and STASM don't understand how to deal with a bunch of T1 artillery, apparently, because his ally is about to fall to T1 artillery, and he probably should send all these T1 bombers he has sitting around to go help.
Yeah, things that beat T1 artillery. Labs,
T1
scouts,
tanks.
T1 tanks.
Any tanks, period.
And yeah.
Yeah, any of the units that aren't the T1 artillery that you build from the factory and aren't REA kind of work. I guess normal scouts don't work. Like the scouts that have 1 to 4 people. That's.
Yeah, no, but it's better than not building.
It's better
anything.
than trying to build Mongoose right now. Oh, now I know why he lost to a bunch of artillery. My tirade against Mongoose is going to continue. I don't do it in high-rated games. In high-rated games, I don't mention Mongoose being bad. It's only in the low-rated games.
High-rated players know how to use their Mongoose very well.
Mongoose strong if you pay attention to them, but attention span's small yet again. Covered. I really feel not re-expanding up the causeway after the Monkey Lord was a mistake.
Oh, it's a horrible mistake.
Like, I don't think it's... I still think Sergeant wins this. Actually, no. Not sure. Admiral Aids has a huge economy now.
Yeah,
Or
he
you
is
should.
actually.
No, never mind. He's
It's
below Sergeant Syphilis.
questionable. I see a lot of T1 mexes. I see a lot of uncapped T2s.
But he's catching up in
He's
reclaim.
lost.
So, or he's caught up in reclaim. Sergeant Syphilis was ahead in reclaim for such a long time this game. Still ahead, but people are catching up to him because he kind of just quit doing it. He is doing it with his comm again, though. He has his comm on a patrol order.
Oh, that is one way to use the commander. It is picking up everything but the actual Rex. I find that neat.
Threat Bomber up to 6 kills. The Destros are still trying. I still feel like you could just build a bunch of destroyers and walk them on land, and these bases still fall apart.
Oh, 100%. They don't have anything to stop.
But then
things
again,
just
he
walking.
also just has a Monkey Lord walking in. So build cruisers, put him in the bay, and Monkey Lord.
Yeah, it looks like this Monkey Lord's probably going to end it.
That Strat
He
Bomber definitely
started-
didn't need to die. Oh, that hurt me. Hurt me a little bit inside.
Oh,
The Strat
I
Bomber,
missed it.
the ASF flew, the enemy ASF flew past like 15 ASF. Oh, the Strat Bomber lives, but on 400 HP. The enemy ASF flew past all of Sergeant Syphilis' ASF cloud, and his ASF just didn't attack them because they were targeted onto the Strat Bomber, so they didn't attack the Sergeant Syphilis' ASF, but they were allowed free passage, I guess is the best way to put it.
yeah. The Monkey Lord's about to make contact with the base.
Oh, T2 mech's going down.
Really
That's
finish that
horrible,
off.
horrible damage. I don't know why I'm being sarcastic about this. Like, yeah, the Monkey Lord was a good call. Bravo on
Yeah.
building Monkey Lord. I respect. Also, Sergeant Syphilis is notorious for losing with Cybran, so good job on winning with Cybran. I've literally never played a game with him where he has won on Cybran, so.
He's finally started to re-eco. He's upgraded mexes on the left. He's re-expanding now. He's got a couple... Yeah, he's got 5 T3 mexes now. This is
And
the economy you want to build a Monkey
This
Lord
is
on.
this is
Not
age
77.
Age. He
Yeah,
has his comm
unfortunately,
somewhere.
he-
His comm is probably over here, still fighting, or still building stuff, but he just gonna die.
Yeah, I don't believe they have an Omni. They definitely need to build an Omni. Oh. Alright.
I mean, there's not much more we can talk about. Like, you need an Omni, and we can say our closing thoughts. What's the biggest advice that you'd give? I think mine is probably gonna be Reconquista is what it's been called by people in my YouTube comments, so I'm just gonna go with that. You really gotta rebuild things when they're destroyed. The biggest thing that at sergeant's level that I see that high rated people that people around my rating and sergeant's rating don't do is rebuilding stuff. Like, I don't know what it is, you just get taxed and you're like, fuck it. But that's one of the first steps to becoming a much higher rated player, is always requeuing everything the moment.
Yeah, you can also give one engineer what you think to be an impossible build order, like go have one engineer queue up 13 mexes across the map. If you don't want to have a bunch of engineers do it.
On one of my recent streams, somebody was like, why did you do that? And I had an engineer that queued almost every single map on, or every single mechs on Dunes of Arrakis side spot. And I was like,
Yeah, just give them in an impossible order. If it
yeah,
happens, it happens.
I was like, I expected to die, and by every single one, I mean like the ones on just the edge of the map. I had multiple.
Yeah.
Possible. But sometimes you get lucky, and even if you steal that that mechs from the enemy, as long as it survives for what 14 seconds, you get the mass back from it. So it's not like it's a horrible investment.
What is it? It's 36 mass, something like that.
Yeah,
It's too lazy to figure it out.
It's 14. But overall, thank you, Sergeant Syphilis, for being a channel member. I think you're a channel member. You might also be a Patreon, for all I know. You're at one point a Patreon. You're beautiful, and I enjoy your support. And let us know if you have any feedback for this replay review kind of thing. And other than that, everybody's patrons. Thank you, channel members. Thurnis, any closing words?
Fuck you, pay him.
Oh, all right.